Hey, how are you guys doing? So we are almost to the end of season 2 for Love Live Superstar. Of course, if you wish to watch Love Live Superstar season 2, Crunchyroll is your main official source. You'll need a premium subscription to be able to watch it. And of course, at the end of this video, I would highly recommend you go to the link in the description to visit the poll where I have you guys rank the girls from 1 through 9, where 1 being a favorite and 9 being your least favorite. So please do this after the end of this episode and rank the girls based on how you feel after the episode. And of course, I'll go over the results on Thursday. So, with the last episode, we left off on a cliffhanger and we were trying to figure out who won the regionals. Or whatever, what it was. Yeah, I think it was regionals. So, of course, let's see who does that. So we jump back right to where we're waiting for the second place. And the girls are very anxious, and you can see all the girls, and we actually get to see some of these girls animated for once. But it turns out Win gets second place, and she is really shocked. And of course, first place will have to go to Lielo, of course. Yeah, that's kind of the expected result, and that's what I was expecting to do. But of course, the girls are really excited because they didn't have to sacrifice their first years, and they won, which they couldn't do last year. And Wien's kind of pissed about this, and she says she refuses to accept the results. But sorry, Wien, this is not an election in America. You can't just ignore and say the results are fake. That's just not how it works. So she definitely doesn't feel very happy about the results, and she kind of has a strong reaction. But the girls in Leal basically, let her know that the results are legitimate. And the girls go and celebrate, and they actually realize it's actually New Year's. So then they go visit a temple. Pretty traditional thing to do, and to go and pray for new luck in the new year. Hanon then goes and searches more about Wien because she was a little curious, and she notices that she wants to attend a school in Vienna, just like her older sisters. However, she failed to make it, didn't pass the entrance exam. She calls Chisato and tries to figure out, but then what's going on, and they're asking, so she came from Vienna to Japan just to participate in Love Live, but she doesn't like it. So she does some more searching, and then she figures out that Wien's actually right next to the Jingu Stadium, and she's just staring in the sky and being all depressed. So Kano goes and tries to talk to her, and, trying to make her feel better, and, saying, I lost my dream at some point, but Wien's kind of pissed, like, I lost my dream because of you. Why are you trying to comfort me here? She's also trying to figure out, why did you even bother with Love Live? And she basically tells him, if I won Love Live, I would have got a recommendation and get into the school. And, she has a family of musicians, and she wants to be where her sisters are. But then she kind of tries to discredit the audience because there's no way I would have lost. Clearly, these people don't know what they're talking about, and they're worthless. So the other girls are going and talking, and I just figured I'd mention this moment because it looks like Natsumi figured out who the giant isopod is. So I guess Cuckoo's got a backup buddy to troll now. And she calls her a playmate. Kuka's like, yeah, I'm happy. Now we have more people to troll. But while the girls are playing around, we do have Kano being basically invited to come to the school that we know we had wanted to get into. And she gets an invitation. So it looks like they want her to study abroad. And, we're kind of getting into the study abroad, which we had with Kotri, which I figured the situation is going to be mostly like that. We also had Ayumu, of course, who did go. So I guess, there's two options, and we're not sure which one's going to happen, but the idea comes up, and we might have to get into that conflict to see what will she pick. So the other girls are kind of worried, like, why she's in this room, and basically they're peeking, and Kano's like, why are you peeking? So she does a little more research, and she gets this pamphlet, and she sees this girl, which I'm assuming this is the older sister of Wen, because, Win herself didn't make it, and of course, she is a little intrigued because the school is really good for music. While she's looking at it, we had all the other girls in Leila basically trying to spy her and trying to figure out, is she going to actually leave us? So they basically ask her up front, are you going to go study abroad? And we have Win on the side who's trying to hear on that answer as well. But Kano just what's up front with them and says, no, I don't want to go. I like it here. And, this is where I got my dream, and I really enjoy singing with you guys. Not to be like, thank goodness, because I don't have any upperclassmen I can trust, which, yikes, can't even trust Ren. But then Chisato notes Wien on the side, so she then decides, well, I'm going to hunt her down and figure out why she's stalking. So she ends up catching her, and we see that Wien actually notices that Kano says she won't study abroad, and Chisato's like, why do you care about that? And then she basically tells him that, well, my family told me that if Kano's coming, I can come back and go to that school as well because they want her to learn from Kanon. So you can see why there might be some interest in there. But Kanon officially goes and says, I don't want to do this, and then she leaves. But then, notably, someone comes after, Chisato. We don't get to hear the conversation, but we'll have to see what that means. So then, we see the girls all upstairs. They're in the kotatsu, just a table that warms you. You know, that's the thing they do a lot in Japan. And when Kanon's like, alright guys, the finals are coming. Let's go and have fun and practice. But then Chisato comes out and says, we need to talk. And she straight up tells her, Kanon, I want you to study abroad. Which, of course, goes against what Kanon said. I know some people are curious what the ending is. The ending was basically just Kanon singing it. That's it. So that concludes this episode, but we do get a little preview of the finale for Season 2. So most notably, we see Wien here. She's, of course, in Kanon's place, and she's eating a takoyaki again, which that's what Chisato usually makes. So it looks like there will be more conversation between Chisato and Wien. And, of course, they has their interests aligned. So we'll have to see what that means. And the next scene, we also get to see Chisato. She's tearing up and crying, but with a smile face. So kind of like a happy sadness. Basically, it might be implying that she's going to actually make Kanon leave, which she wants to do, but she'll lose her friend. And then we see Kanon's face here, which, again, makes me feel like that would be the case, that, you know, she sees that they want her to go. So then, last but not least, we have the Liera no Uta. This is just the Kanon version of the one we had in the previous episode, but let's go over it anyways. And well, that's the end of the episode. So I covered most of the big points on here, but I'm going to reiterate. So of course we see Leila win, and yeah, that was what I thought would be most likely. Of course, there was the possibility that Leila didn't win, and third season is still trying to win again. But Leila did win the competition, so they are ready to go to the finals, which we still need to see the finals happen. As well, on top of that, we also need to figure out what is Kanon going to do, because Kanon has kind of turned down the ability to go study abroad because she doesn't want to. She wants to be with her friends, and that's what's important to her. But maybe she, like, we saw her really looking at it and studying it, so maybe there is some interest in it. And of course, we know Chisato really cares about Kanon, and she wants to see her succeed, even if it hurts her. And you know, the selfish thing is that they want her to stay and be with her and continue going to be their third year together. And, you know, it sucks to see him leave, but this is a great opportunity for her to really excel in the singing career that she could potentially have. And I think it's a pretty selfless act for Chisato to really pursue that. I don't know how much she cares about Wien per se herself, because she only then brought up that conversation because of Wien and told her that afterwards. So I don't know how much of a factor that is, but as far as I can tell, she probably doesn't care that much. But I guess that's another reason. Maybe she wants to try to help Wien out as well, because if Kanon goes, Wien gets to go. Again, Chisato is the only one who knows of this in Leila. She hasn't let the other girls know. Maybe she'll let them know in the next episode. But, you know, that's definitely the big question we have for the finale of Season 2. And maybe that's finale for Superstar, maybe not. But we have to see, will they actually go? And we had scenes like this in Love Live before. Kotori had the option to go away and study abroad. Of course, Kotori was going to do it because Honoka basically never really stopped her until the very end, which, of course, eventually happened, and then they did Star Dash and all that. And we had Yumu who tried to juggle that idea, and it took a while, but eventually decided that she's going to go and do it. And, you know, study abroad doesn't mean that they're going to be gone for forever, and they'll never see each other again. I don't remember them saying how long the study abroad program would be. I don't know if that's a semester, or a few months, or a few weeks. but rather this sounds like more like transferring, so she will just finish her whole third year there, as far as I can tell, unless it was just a short-term thing. But we have to see what that means and what the implications are for her going. So of course the question is, what do you think Kano is going to do? From the short previews that we got to see Chisato tearing, but with a smile, which it probably indicates a happy sadness, which could be, you know, like we see Kano said, okay, fine, I'll do it, I'll go. Which, of course, you'll be sad to see her leave, but you can also see her be happy because you can see her succeed and grow further in her singing abilities. I don't know if that necessarily means the opposite. She's saying, no, I'm just going to stay here no matter what. I don't think you'll be having happy tears for that. And of course, the face that we saw Kano have definitely makes me think, you know, she is faced with a really tough decision and something that she doesn't want to do. And maybe that they might have a fight trying to force this to happen. And maybe that's what happens. And of course, we see Wien interact more. Of course, she's already been in Kano's place before. We saw that. But looks like Chisato's probably going to scheme with her and maybe try to really push her. And maybe Wien gets in the part of trying to convince her, because I don't know, Wien didn't really seem to really try to push Kano to go accept it. She's kind of like, please do it, fingers crossed, but I'm also never going to bring it up because I don't know. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. We'll definitely have some kind of interesting finale. Hopefully we probably get one more song. Well, I want to see if they win Love Live. I guess it's probably yes, because we don't know anyone else to compete with. So I'm just assuming they perform and woo, they win. But then past that, once they win, then I guess they got to make that decision. So let me know what you guys think about this episode in the comments below. What do you think is going to happen? And how do you feel about Wien right now? Do you like her? Do you not like her? And what do you think is going to happen between Kanon and Chisato? Let me know all about that in the comments below. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please do participate in the poll, the link in the description, and we'll see how the girls fluctuate in the second last episode. And I hope to catch you guys in another video soon.